Hi, I'm Melanie McQuaid, and today I'm going to talk to you about some common mistakes that athletes make during taper week that prevent them from having the race that they had trained for. There's a saying that goes, racing is 90% mental and the rest is in your head, and that is very true. So most of these mistakes I'm going to talk about stem from issues with your confidence or with how you've mentally approached the race. So we're going to start with number one. So the number one mistake that I see with athletes is as your body starts to unload and you start to feel better and better because you're doing less volume and you're resting essentially for the race, athletes commonly start to test themselves while their legs feel good. And so in that way, they kind of go into sessions to try and create some confidence for themselves and then overcook it during their pre-race activation sessions. The way to look at all your sessions leading up to your race they are not for training, because your training is done. It's done well before the week before the race. So you can no longer get any better. But you can get a lot worse if you go too hard, if you pull a muscle, or you just basically tire yourself out by trying to validate your fitness before you actually get to the real validation, which is the race. So these are all mental things that you are trying to make yourself feel more confident by proving it in training. Wait for the race and prove it at the race, and make sure that you execute your race week taper workouts just as they are written. Don't test yourself any more than you need to, and just wait for the race. The number two thing is during taper week, you're exercising a bit less and you're trying to eat normally because you're trying to allow your body to store glycogen so that you have adequate stores to get you through the race on the weekend. What this does is it allows your muscles to actually store a bit more in your muscles, and they kind of get a bit more water in them, so you start to feel a little bit squishy. And so some athletes start to feel like, oh, maybe I'm like eating too much, or worse, they're like, oh, I'm exercising less, so I'm going to eat less, and then they try to actually cut weight during the last week before the race. Do not chisel on taper week. It's over. Your weight is your weight. Stop weighing yourself and just wait for the race. If you do feel a little bit squishy, you're probably nailing your nutrition because you actually want that feeling in your body. I always feel a little bit like a hibernating bear when I lumber to the start line, but I am ready to go when the gun goes off. So make sure you're confident in your nutrition plan. Don't eat anything weird or adventurous the week before the race. Save that for after, and you'll have good nutrition and your body will feel good on race day. Now, the third mental thing that can happen on race week is starting to doubt your preparation by looking around at all these fit people and the start line and the transition area and all the excitement, and have all this stuff go on in your head because you're not training as much, you're eating, and you're like, oh, all this stuff. You can start to just doubt yourself. Now, the most important thing is to have a mantra and to keep going back to all those sessions you did in training and thinking about all these good things that you've done to prepare you to get to this race, and then start to think about how fun it is to actually race, and start to think about how you want to have your best day and have the most fun possible, and use the race as an opportunity and a privilege, not something that is scary or daunting. Just make sure that you're having as much fun out there, and your body will be loose and relaxed and able to execute all those amazing sessions that you've done to prepare. So have fun, be confident, and just believe in yourself. You're going to have a great race, and don't let any of these little pitfalls on taper week bring you down. Have a great race.